Since 2015, the S&S 4D Freespin roller coaster has been taking the theme park world by storm, and with 9 now open and another 3 on the way, it's time to start talking about what other theme parks that could also do with one of these great rides. Welcome to the Theme Park Jack YouTube channel. Thank you to the over 400 people who have now subscribed, and let's just get straight into today's video. Flamingo Land in North Yorkshire is by far the most obvious fit that I can think of for one of these rides in terms of the UK. Flamingo Land love rides that are cheap and compact, and they've worked with S&S plenty of times in the past. A Freespin is exactly the kind of ride that this park will buy, and in terms of where it could go, I'd personally rip out Hero and put it in there, but I think it's more likely that it would be added to the Dino Stone Park area as an expansion and improvement of this area. With this new ride, a few other new flat rides, and fingers crossed a few new dinosaurs that look a bit more realistic, and they'd be onto a winner here. Whether or not they go with the larger model that's found at Six Flags and in Japan, or the smaller one that's at Adventureland, and also going to King's Dominion next year, I don't know, but either way it will be a very impressive ride for the park. The smaller model is actually apparently a bit better, and the feature on that one at Adventureland, where you can choose a more intense or tamer side, could be brought into this ride as well, so personally I'd probably go with that one. In recent years, Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach has been getting a lot more money thrown at it with permanent new rides and a casino planned, so I think that this is the perfect time for them to put in a new roller coaster, and let's be honest, there is plenty of space to do it. An S&S Freespin would also be a perfect fit here, and it could be given an ocean theme and name, painted with white supports and blue track, and will give the park their first big, standout roller coaster in almost 100 years. Now that's about time if you ask me. So they are smaller UK theme parks where it makes a lot more sense on paper for them to get a Freespin as a major standout roller coaster for them. But what about some of the larger parks that could get one of these rides as more of a filler, flat ride level addition? I have thought of Alton Towers squeezing something like this in where Ripsaw was, in Katanga Canyon or in the Blade Pit in between big new secret weapon roller coasters. Or better still, a cheaper new roller coaster in the next few years for Blackpool Pleasure Beach that isn't too much of a strain on their bank account after the £16 million icon just a few years ago. They could try and maybe even sell Ice Blast back to S&S and get some money off the new roller coaster in kind of a trading deal, and add the new ride as part of an entrance area revamp. Being a landlocked city amusement park, Tivoli Gardens in Copenhagen will be a great fit for a Freespin. They're very tall and eye-catching rides that add a lot to the skyline of the park and attract people in to have a go, and with the grand scenery and details that Tivoli add to and around their rides, it would look absolutely great. Other Nordic city parks like Gröna Lund, Andlin and Maki in Stockholm and Helsinki have got rides very similar to the S&S Freespin, so why not Tivoli Gardens? Follow the trend. With King's Dominion getting Tumbili, it's clear that the Cedar Fair amusement park chain could be adding more of these rides to their other parks. We think that Dorney Park will be getting a modern wooden coaster, and Worlds of Fun needs a launch coaster, so I think that the remaining 2 lower tier Cedar Fair parks should get a Freespin. Those of course being Michigan's Adventure and Valley Fair in Minnesota. The Route 76 themed area will be a great home for the new ride at Valley Fair, and will be something very different to the rides that they've got right now. And Michigan's Adventure desperately needs something new, and since Cedar Fair doesn't seem to like spending much money on this park, why not give them one of these? The park is absolutely massive as well, so they've got plenty of space for this one, and they could even add it as part of a new themed area, maybe with the River Rapids and Thunderhawk at the back of the park. I think that these rides will slowly continue to pop up at the rest of the Six Flags parks, but I could see their 2 newer parks, Frontier City and Darien Lake, getting one each in the not so distant future. Frontier City will probably be the first in line though, as it looks like Darien Lake are focusing on doing some work to their wooden coaster the Predator right now, but I do think that they will get one eventually, maybe with some sort of superhero theme if they do decide to introduce all that back into the park. It wouldn't surprise me if they did, given how the name of their hypercoaster, Ride of Steel, sounds a bit odd ever since it had the Superman name at the start dropped. Do you have any ideas as to what theme parks could get an S&S 4D Freespin roller coaster? If so, drop a comment, and if you enjoyed today's video then please leave a like. If you'd like to see more videos that are similar to this, as well as reviews, vlogs, my future of videos where I predict the future of various theme parks, and theme park news shorts videos as well, then please subscribe. Thanks again to everyone who has, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video coming very soon. Bye now.